Righto, where are we at today? I want to do a road trip. I want to go down to Geelong, where I'm from, go see Matt, one of my mates, and I want to go to the swap meet down there. Whether the car that I'm going to do is going to be ready, I don't know. But we're going to start this one different. Instead of me going, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, let's start at the start. I know I want to go, I've got a vague idea of what sort of car I want to take, but I'm going to have to build the car in order to do the road trip. So let's go have a look, and I'll go through the process. I'll go through cost analysis and what I want to use. So anyway, let's go for a walk out in the yard and see what we got. Righto, so what I'm thinking is wagon. I want to do like full old school road trip, so sleep on the side of the road. Yeah, just do it rough, you know what I mean? Anywhere, just full on Australian road trip, so that, you know, anyone that watches the road trip thing from overseas will see how safe Australia is. But anyway, that's irrelevant. What I'm thinking is HR wagon. Now, yesterday I did have a quick glance at the HR wagons that are here. I've got a couple more at home. I'll show you what I'm dealing with in the way of HR wagons, but where I've sort of landed with it is, the thought is more of a rat rod sort of car, so put it together, away you go. But the couple I looked at, so there's one over in the center over here, we'll go across here, but see, I've got that one that's here, and I've got this one that's here, right, in the way of HR wagons. But when I look, I think to myself, oh, you know, I'll just do a quick cleanup on one, which is fine, but, you know, like the gutters are good on this one, that's why it's still here. There's a little bit around the back window that needs repaired. I've got other doors, I've got guards, I've got stuff to bolt on. I don't mind doing dog legs and stuff like that. Like, I've got everything here to do what I've got to do, but then when you get to the back, that dent doesn't matter with what I'm trying to achieve. But tailgate, it's starting to blow out, and then it definitely needs proper rust repairs done in here. And then I start thinking to myself, do I really want to just half-ass a HR? Which is no, because if I'm going to do it, it's got to be right. I don't want to just do a dodge up on it, because I'm going to spend money and time to dodge it up and then have to pull it apart down the track again and redo it. And then I've got this one here, which is an ex-Red X bash car I bought off a mate, which is a good car, like 5-speed, it's got aircon, it's got a roll cage in it, which sucks. Once again, tailgate and that, but I've got other bolt-on panels, like I've been collecting them for a while. Like, it's good in the gutters, same sort of rust here. You know, the interior in this thing has been changed over to something, but it's not too bad, you know, like a bit of repair. Door trims are quite good. It's, yeah, I'd have to cut the roll cage out of it, but once again, I'm falling back to that whole, I'm going to be using really good parts on a car that's not going to be really good. It needs to go on the rotisserie and get repaired properly. So as much as I want to do it in a HR with a red motor, I'm thinking, what do I do? But on another tangent, I actually done a scrap removal job the other day for that WB Statesman that's up on top of the pile up there, because it's super rusted out. I got my LH Tirana here. While I was there, I'd done a deal with the guy on some flares, and it's really motivated me to start collecting parts for this again. So yeah, I've been buying a lot of parts for my Mazda front. I've just bought front guards and boot lid as well, new out of Sydney. So now I've got new bonnet, I've got front scuttle panel, rear scuttle panel, nose cone, front bars. I went to buy a rear bar the other day, but Phil's rotaries were closed by the time I got there. So I'm starting to move forward on more buying parts for a lot of the restoration jobs coming up than cars. But anyway, that's just on another thing. And then this morning I was sitting there and I'm thinking to myself, what else can I use? This Mazda here is a Mazda, I think it's a Mazda 1500 wagon. It's a pretty cool sort of jigger, right? Now, this one's got good interior bits in it and seats and stuff like that, but it's rusty. I have another one over here that is, oh, maybe we could do it in that Datsun. I'm thinking, because doing the 808 or the RX3 sedan, I've got to buy a rotary for it, right? And as you know, I've bought a few RX8s recently, but both of them I'm going to fix up and get going. So I don't really want to pull the motors and boxes out of them, but yeah. But I've got another one of those little Mazda wagons right there. Let's try and get into it and have a look. So and if I buy a rotary for the RX3 808, I want to really put it in something, use it, drive it so it's right, because by the time the Mazda's done all the steelwork's done the panel work, you want to just put the motor and box in with whatever ECU system and just have it work and be good. So do I buy another RX8 so that I've got panels and parts for the ones I've got, as well as another motor and box setup, pull it out, modify it to either back to carby, make a manifold for it, and it gives me a gearbox and everything, so if I go that way to buy another 808. But here's this wagon here. I'm gonna get prickles all through my socks this morning, but anyway. Righto, so this wagon here is good. It's not rusty, it's obviously patinaed and the paint's come off, but the body on this thing is really, really good. So between the one that's over there and this one, I can put together a pretty good little Mazda. Like, I can get rid of that bull bar because I've got a chrome bar on the other one. But then I'm thinking just now, this thing here is sweet, and it does run. I've got pretty much everything there. The interior is pretty good. Do I do the road trip in this big Mazda, this big Datsun, sorry? Because this thing's pretty cool. Wouldn't have to do paint, it's got bugger all rust. Fix that A-pillar and then put that together. But then again, I'd love to do the road trip in a rotary. And I want to really do it in a wagon, but I'm thinking wagon so I can sleep in it, but I think I'd struggle to sleep in this. I might be able to push that front seat forward and still sleep in here if I have to. I don't know. So our options are HR wagon, not going to happen. I've got two at home that are quite good, but I don't want to just dodge them up. So I think the HR wagon's out of the question. I really like the idea of doing this, and even if I buy a 13B or a 12A that's good, that's going to cost 7 to 9 grand for that engine, put it in, and it sound mint, and these little Mazda drive well, and I can do my road trip in that. Or that thing there's not too far off, and it'll be pretty cool. Wheels, bit of a paint touch up, bit of rust repair, and get that going. Decisions. I don't know. I'd love to do it in a hard top, but yeah, I've started with the buying of parts and stuff. Yeah, looking in the States, because the back end of these are the same as Dodge Dart, so you can buy roof, floors, and a lot of the rust sections really cheap out of the States. But now that I've got 4 of them to do, it's feasible to buy a heap of stuff and get it freighted, because it'll cut the freight cost down because you're buying so much. So won't be doing it in a hard top. But yeah, so I'm wondering whether, I'm a bit lost, guys, which one to do. I know I want to do a road trip, and I know you guys love the road trip stuff. This thing here is pretty sweet. So yeah, so we're going to go Mazda, which is that thing there. Like, I've got Z-Tech motors, well, Z-Tech motors as well, which are out of your Mondeos and your Focuses, that I've been collecting for the Escorts and the little Ford Courier Utes and stuff like that. So for like the 2-door Escort, engines are something I've got to do today and put them away. So that's a Z-Tech motor there. Okay, now Retro Ford over in the States, in the UK, I've mentioned them before, make kits to make them rear wheel drive. I've got some 5-speed boxes, T5 boxes there that I can put behind them, and that could go in the Mazda as well, but not really what I want to do. I really have to get that rotary and get a rotary happening to use. So, but I do have to do a conversion, buy a conversion kit so I can remake them over here for myself and use what they've made to modify for what I need to do. So the ramblings of a crazy man trying to work out what he wants to do. I didn't even think about that big 2-door thing. Maybe that is the one that, because it already runs and drives. It's manual. I don't think it's got aircon, but we can modify that easy enough, make something to work. Yeah, it's a pretty cool old jigger. I'm actually thinking that that's where we're at. I reckon that's us. I think it's a 240C or something like that. Yeah. As much as I want to do the Mazda, I reckon that's me road trip car. I reckon I'm cruising in that. Yeah, can't sleep in it obviously. But yeah. Alright. I haven't made a decision. Normally by now I would have made a decision on what I'm going to do, so I will leave it for you guys to put some input in the comments to see what you reckon. If I'm going to go the Mazda, I'm either going to buy an actual earlier, like a Series 2 FC 13B or something like that. Something that's rebuilt and something that's going would be good. If I buy another RX-8, I may take the running engine out and take the one that's dropped the front rotor in that car out the back there, take that out and rebuild that one and then use it, because that way I'll have a good motor for the car that's out the back, panels to finish that because it's got some hail damage, and then yeah, it's a bit of a muck about, but I'll learn a lot. This is building the road trip cars, more about getting the parts I need to complete other builds, as well as, because I don't want to waste money on just putting a HR wagon together, which is where my heart's at. But you know, I'm just going to build something to pull it apart, or it'll just sit there and deteriorate again because I won't use it after the road trip. So I know this is just ramblings, but this is what I go through when I'm trying to look for what I'm going to do or build, you know what I mean? It's sort of it's a hard choice, but I do want to do a road trip, definitely, and I want to go to Victoria. I'm in Queensland, so that means it's 20-hour drive or something like that, which is fine, like I don't care, but it's yeah, I'm not going to do it in some big horsepower thing because the price of fuel at the moment, but I'm thinking that two-door 240C could be the go. Yeah, I don't know, what do you guys reckon? Are we going to go rotary and play rotaries? Do we buy an RX-8 and pull it out? I think you can delete those Renaissance things. I'll get that and I'll be back to you. Have a think about it. We'll go for a quick walk through here, see if there's anything else that gives me some inspiration to use, but I'm pretty sure we're down to those two. The rotary thing's where I'm sort of leaning towards. This Tirana here, $1,000 if someone wants it. It's a 4-cylinder one. It's got a lot of parts if someone needs them, like window regs and stuff like that. Most of the interior's still in it, but it's very, very rusty. It does have buckets in it still. Rear seat's been recovered, door trims have been recovered. Yeah, but it is a 4-cylinder LC, but it's I don't know, $1,000 can go. I'm never going to do anything with it, so it should go. I can't really, it's too far gone. Don't want to do it in a late model Commodore. Yeah, if I had a Skyline wagon, I'd probably do an RB30, would put a turbo on it or something, do it in that, but yeah. These things are awesome. I'm really happy with them. But yeah, so what do you guys reckon? There's nothing there that I really want to do it in. I think we're down to that, either that two-door 240C or do the Mazda, because the Mazda's not rusty, which means we're really just going to be doing cleanup and very minimal paint. You know, I'm not going to be doing work to have to come back and do it again later, because we're not going to do a lot of rust or paint, and it's going to get painted later. So I'm just talking, thinking out loud of what the process I go through when I've got to pick something to build. So yeah, I think that's our best bet, is don't have to do a motor in that Datsun. So yeah, I don't know. Leave in the comments. I'm still, like, it's hard because I work full time in the tow truck all the time, and I get done what I can. I've been doing a lot of late model stuff, obviously, like the Focus, the WRX. I've got the Liberty in there on the hoist now. Just got to do the brakes on that and a bit of a clean up, and I'm going to sell that. The all-wheel drive RS Liberty, so that's going to go up for sale in the next month or so. Yeah. So I don't know. What do we do? the Datsun Nissan 240C, I don't even know what it is. I know it's cool, but yeah, would be a good option. Like, I quite like it, so be good to get it out and get it happening and get it moving. Yeah, or do we go the rotary way? I've got to buy the rotary anyway. It'll probably take me longer to get the money together to get the rotary and everything, but once I've got it, it's there. But then you got ECU, that Mazda project could blow out. So I think for time factor, to be able to do it in something old, something a bit rarer and something a bit cool, because you don't see them at all, I think I'm leaning towards that Nissan, because I'll be actually able to go, because I don't want to go down in winter because it's freaking freezing down there. I'm a Queensland boy these days, and yeah, it's just yeah, my exhaust turned up for me WRX, so yeah, that's good. Be able to put that on soon. Yeah, I reckon because that already runs, I'll just have to do some brake stuff, make sure the clutch master and slave and everything's good. Yeah, redo the fuel system, and interior is still pretty tidy. Yeah, and then because there'll be little bits and pieces I need, so it might work out well to do this, and we'll go parts hunting in it, because I'm going to have to go down through Sydney to Melbourne. So anything that's missing, little grill bits, or if the bars aren't the best on it, we might do that. We might go parts, get that going, get that registered, launch it to Melbourne, and by the time we get back, have all the rare little bits and pieces we need to finish it. How's that sound? We'll go parts hunting in that, because there's no parts around. So yeah, I think that's where we're at. What do you guys reckon? Yeah, it's got like a Mustang looking back bit on it. I like it, it's pretty cool. When I bought it, I was pretty excited. Got it off another mate. He's not a bad bloke. He's got a lot of Fords though, but we won't hold that against him. Righto. Yes, I think we will look at doing the Mazda, and I'll work out a better plan, or if someone has a rotary they want to sell me, or if they've got a cheap RX-8, must be a manual one. Let's look at these wagons, but they may end up with a Z-Tech in them instead of, because I've got quite a few of them now. All right, you change my mind if you want, but yeah, or I've still got this old girl here. I do have sort of engines hanging around for this thing, and the box is still there. I think it'd be a hell mission in that though. I think it'd be terrible, but I could set up some sort of bed setup on the back, or put my motorbike on and take it as well. But I am sort of falling back in love with this thing. Yeah, I don't know. The ramblings of a crazy man. But anyway, thank you for tuning in. Let me know what you think. I don't know if there's anything else that I'd want to do it in. Quick look out the back, but everything else is pretty late model that's out the back. Yeah, nah, there's nothing out the back there. It's all, yeah. Righto. What are we going to do? I'm leaning towards that Datsun now, because it's going to be the quickest way to do the road trip, and we can work long term for next year's one to perhaps do it in a rotary or do it in one of those. I do have a HR wagon that I've been collecting a lot of really nice parts for, and building a really, really nice wagon. Like these wheels, one of my oldest friends, Fenno, from down in Geelong where I grew up. I went to kindergarten with him. I got these wheels off him a while back, a big staggered set of Indies, and there's a HR wagon I'm building with those wheels. And that's what the whole reason I wanted to do the HR wagon is to use the wheels. But yeah, righto. Anyway, keep thinking about it. Tell me what you reckon. And yeah, but I think I am leaning towards that two-door 240C, 260C, whatever it is, that silver thing. Yeah, silver thing road trip. Righto. See you guys. I'm gonna go do some work and dream about what I'm gonna do. But I'm keen to do a road trip all the way down, and I will have to chase parts for that, so it'll actually work quite well. Righto.